Hello, my here. Welcome back to another games pickup video. And in today's games pickup video, we are gonna have a look at the games that I picked up over the past couple of weeks, and that actually came in the last week. Actually, today I filmed also some other videos, and just now the post office came again with some additional games. So this video will have more games in it than I said in my previous video. So yeah, apologies for that. So this is gonna be a long one. I currently have now in front of me, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in front of me. So let's browse over what I picked up and if I did a good pickup or if I did a bad pickup. Okay, let me start off by the ones you have already seen in a different video, but the one you have seen now in the thumbnail, which I'm very proud of that I have. And that is, I have the final part in the Ace Attorney world and in the Professor Layton world. And that is Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Yes, this was one that I wanted for such a long time. Especially, I already have all the Professor Layton games, also the one on the Switch. There's a new one coming out, but I also have all the Professor Layton on the DS, 3DS. I have all the Ace Attorney games on the Nintendo Switch. I never had them on the DS or the 3DS or on the Game Boy Advance. I have been playing Ace Attorney. I love it. And this was just the final one, which I was missing. So this one is a very expensive game because this was not released, or I don't think it will be released on the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, like I said, this is the final one that I needed to complete my collection, both for Professor Layton and for Ace Attorney, so that I have all the physical games in those series up until, today. Of course, once the new Professor Layton releases, I'm gonna get that one immediately and play it. I love Professor Layton, and I am so curious to find out what this game is about. I specifically have not read anything about it, so I don't know how this is gonna work, because Professor Layton and Ace Attorney, they are kind of different in a way that one is more of a puzzle and one is more of an investigation visual novel. So I'm very curious to find out how this game works. It will be in my games I want to play before Jock Studio gets here. So I want to play this game before the summer of 2025 because I'm just so curious to find out how this dynamic works. Because I do feel that this dynamic will work, but I don't know how. If you have played this game, let me know. Please, well, you know what? Just say I'm gonna spoil stuff and then start writing it, right? Then I can leave it up to myself if I want to spoil it or not. But yeah, let me know if you also have this one. I have the version, which is the European version, which also has my language on it. So for Professor Layton, I have all the DS games or 3DS games that have also Dutch on it. So yeah, I wanted to have, like the same type also when it came to this version, because yes, they did release a European version. Now then, I'm gonna go into two games which were recommended to me due to another Nintendo Switch pickups video. These are part of the which I'm gonna do somewhere along the line this year, of my collection of Yuri games, physical Yuri games for the Nintendo Switch, or Yuri themed games. And some of them can be more bait type of things, but I'm trying to collect all of the physical Nintendo Switch games which have which have a very visible Yuri type of element in it. And when I was talking about that, somebody was so nice enough in the comments to list also their Yuri games that they had. And when I was looking through that list, I saw that two of the Yuri games which were on that list, I did not have yet. So I thought, okay, you know what? Let me try and find them and see, like what they are all about. So the first one, and I thought most of them were visual novels, but when I started looking at it, I thought, oh no, one of them is not a visual novel. And that is Samurai Maiden. Samurai Maiden apparently is not a visual novel. I thought it was a visual novel. It's a fighting game, it's an adventure game. And that made it even better, right? I love visual novels, but I have most of the Yuri themed games are visual novels. So the fact that there is a game out there which has a Yuri theme and is not a visual novel just makes it even more interesting for me. And I don't know if it's hack or slash. There's something here on the back, which is, I guess, the code. So let me remove that. So yeah, look. And there we go. We have the little blushies. And yeah, like I said, I'm very, very interested. Oops, sorry for that sound. Yeah, it's when I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's fighting. So also this game, I'm gonna play quite fast. Like I said, it's not a visual novel. Maybe there are visual novel elements in it, right? Maybe it's very story heavy, but it feels like it's not a visual novel. So yeah, that was one of the games that was on that person's list. And then another one, which is here, it says Folklore of Kudon. This is a visual novel, and it even says, like this is the Japanese version, but the Japanese version contains English. There you can see it very easy on the box as well. A lot of the games published by Prototype have that. So if you find a Japanese game and the publisher is Prototype, chances are that they contain English, and they will have then this thingy on it or shown at the back. So yeah, these games have English on the cartridge. I always thought this was just a dating visual novel, but not a Yuri themed dating visual novel. And then I saw the back, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, I guess it is. I guess somewhere along the line, I saw one dude, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be a harem or something. Not that I have any problems with harem visual novels, right? I do play them, but I have enough of them, right? So, and they're not that special because you have way too many of them. But this one, I don't know if it's gonna be a harem Yuri game, but it looked very very interesting, and I love the art style. So yeah, can't wait to find out more about this one. I don't know how long this one is. It didn't say it on how long to beat. It feels like it's not a very long visual novel, so I might also try to put this in games I want to play before the summer of 2025 comes. That's going to be my running theme, right? Games I want to play before the summer of 2025. Because as we all know, once summer 2025 hits, that means that Jock Studio will be released. That means that I will play up until December. I will only play Jock Studio. I will not play any other games because that's just what it's going to be. Then some other orders came in from VGP, one of which I am very angry about because I only found out when I, first looked at the game, is I bought Star Ocean, the second story R, and look what it says here below. See this? Download required. Cannot play this game without a download. I am so angry. I hate these games, right? I hate the games which have, of course, the orange, like there's only a download code, but I also hate these blue ones. And I did not pay attention to it. I am so angry at myself that I did not pay attention to it. This one was on sale, and I am gonna look if there is a version out there which, has the full game on the card. I'm just angry. Okay, I have played this game already. So actually this was gonna be something that I'm not gonna play this year. I'm gonna want it to play next year, but now I don't even know if I want to play it at all because I need to download stuff, and it's a Nintendo Switch 1, right? And with the Switch 2 there, and we don't know everything about the eShop and everything and how all these code things will work. So yeah, I'm kinda angry. Not gonna lie about it. I like my games physical because if I wanted to have digital, I would buy it at GOG, I would buy it at Steam, I would buy it on itch.io. I would just buy it for my monster PC that I have here. I do not need a console game then, because most of the times it will be prettier on my on my PC or on my Steam Deck. I buy Switch games because I can have the physical game on one cartridge and I don't need an internet connection to play the game. Now I do. So I'm angry, very angry at this one. I might even burn this one just because I'm just so angry at this game. I love, by the way, Star Ocean, the second story R. I love that game. It hurts. It hurts so much as again, I am not in camp. I only take physical games, right? I am not in camp. I only take digital. I am in camp. If I buy something physical, it needs to be completely physical. I do not want digital. If I buy something digital, it needs to be completely digital, right? I should not need something physical to start up the digital, unless, of course, it's your PC, right? But get it? So if it's digital, it needs to be 100% digital. If it's physical, it needs to be 100% physical. That's just how it goes. That's the whole reason why I am not moving over to the PlayStation 5, because a lot of the games, physical games there, require a download in order for them to work. So then I'm like, why should I have a well, there is a PlayStation 5 in this house, right? But why should I, like actively get a PlayStation 5, another one, because my PC has better specs than the PlayStation 5. So why? I don't know why. Again, I have the latest Steam Deck with the best specs. So why? That was just my rant on being very angry at this blue line on here. Then I bought two other games at VGP. I actually bought this one specifically at VGP because I thought it was a physical game. Then another one which was on my wish list, which is Mary Skelter 2. I still need to have the first game, but I might just, start playing the second game first. I think I should. It says plus revisit Mary Skelter Nightmare. Is the first game on this one as well? No. Is it? No. It says plus revisit Mary Skelter Nightmares, featuring revamped system and gameplay. Now I need to look that up. I didn't know. I thought it only had the second game on it. Huh. Escape the Nightmare Clutches. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's an additional DLC content on this one. I have no clue. It was on my wish list for quite some time because I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this looks really nice. I should get it. It has no blue line on it, right? No, doesn't have any blue line on it. Now I'm scared, right? Now every time I'm looking at all my games, I'm like, oh my god, does it have the blue line? No, it doesn't have the blue line. And then another game which I had on my wish list, that is Clea. I always thought that only the first game was on this one, but it actually says Clea 1 plus 2. So yeah, 2 games on this one. It says also it's the complete edition. I also didn't know this was from limited run. So now I need to put it in my limited run games section, because I was gonna place it somewhere else, and now I'm like, oh, it's part of limited run. It looks interesting. Don't think it's those 2 games are very long, so might put it in the 2025 pile. Could also be that it's gonna be a beginning of 2026 game that I'm gonna play. And then the next one is SNK versus Capcom. I have the Japanese version of this one. I'm collecting all the fighting game collections, from Street Fighter or from Capcom. And yeah, I like these collection type of games, right? Because you have multiple fighting games on them. And if you're feeling more in one mood, you play that one. If you're feeling more in another mood, you play that one. It's fighting games are always just nice to play for like half an hour or an hour. Just get your frustration out. And yeah, this one is one I don't have. I also have ordered the Marvel one. I really didn't know that I thought I had that one. But apparently, even when I checked, like my game eye, and I was looking at why don't I have Marvel? I'm like, okay. I saw a sale for that one, so I bought the Marvel one. It's being shipped to me. But yeah, this is the SNK. It's the SVC Chaos. I'm very interested. It's in Japanese, right? So I don't know which ones specifically are on there. If there are also arcade ones on them. Like I played most of my fighting games in my younger years, right? I played them in the arcade, so therefore I don't I did play, like on my NES and my SNES and all those kind of things. I did play fighting games, but I was more into I like Bloody Roar also, right? And the one with the high school kids. I loved going through story mode. I don't know why. That's why I also liked playing it in the arcade, right? Because you go through story mode. And yeah, I know I wasted a lot of quarters playing fighting games because I just wanted to go through the story. And yeah, somewhere the fight before the final level, I got stuck most of the time there. So yeah, those machines make really good money out of me. So now the fact that I have them here in a collection, that makes it, like less money that I'm wasting on it. And then 3 other games, which I haven't shown in another video, also came in today. So I thought I'll show them. One of the games actually was just released, and that is Tales of Grace remastered. And why did I buy it? It looked pretty. Back in my younger days when I was a teen, I would buy JRPG just because it looked pretty, right? I bought, for example, one of my favorite games is Wild Arms. Well, back at the time when Wild Arms was released, right, for the PlayStation, I just bought it because the art looked cool and the music is amazing. So somebody told me that the music and the art, and I saw the art, of course, for this one is, like also amazing. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's go back to my roots. Why, like I buy, how I bought previously my games, right? So I previously bought my games like it looks pretty. Tree pretty, flower pretty. Let's look at it. Let's buy it. So, yeah, I have no. I've never played this one. Okay, so this is a remastered. I've never played this one. I've never played anything in the Tales series. So I'm very curious to find out. I hope I can play this before the summer of 2025. Then another one, which is a visual novel, and that is Ether Nights. This one's also released somewhere mid 2024 and 2025 and 2024. Sorry, and yeah, again, this one was more of a oh yeah, I would like to add that to my visual novel library. It looked cool, and there was I bought this one for less than 20 euros. You see, it's completely new, sealed, whatever. And I bought it because, like I said, it was only 20 euros or less than 20 euros, but it was on back order. So I ordered this through that Danish company. I think it's Danish because the postage always says Denmark. It's cool. It's called Cool Shop. They have sometimes these very interesting sales, or just I don't want to say sale, but very low listing. But then it says, like they are in back order with the publisher, and then you need to, like they have these time frames that like it can take 5 to 6 weeks before this game ships. And I'm like, you know what? This game is not gonna get any cheaper than that. Uh, which I was correct in because it didn't get any cheaper. And I'm like, you know what? I don't mind waiting 5 to 6 weeks. So yeah, this one popped up suddenly today, and I was like, oh, this is nice. Um, I didn't expect. I ordered it like 4 weeks ago, so it got here earlier than I expected. So yeah, that's why that was that one there, and then we have the final one, which actually I ordered yesterday, and it is already here. And that is Panic in Switzerland. So this one, definitely bought this one because of the art. Okay, I will be 100% honest. I saw this magical girl art, and I was like, I was hooked. But I saw this one, I think in February 2024. So this was a game which was at the shop that at a Dutch shop which I buy a lot of games from, which is called Net Games, and I put it on my wish list because this game was priced 70 euros, so 70, which I was like, for a game according to howlongtobeat.com is less than 10 hours. I was like, yeah, those are some expensive 10 hours, okay? So no. Yes, it looks pretty. Yes, it looks like magical girls fighting. Yes, it's so up my alley. And yes, I know I need to pay import prices, right? Because this is an Asia exclusive, which has English on the cartridge. But I was like, I'm not gonna pay 70 euros for it because it's just, nope, not gonna do it. But I thought, you know what? Let me put it on a wish list because this feels like one of those games that people just don't pick up, right? Because I live in a country where I live in a country which doesn't really like this style of game, right? So I don't know, happy, fun, beautiful looking. Like everything here is like, I don't know, Halo, Far Cry, I don't know, the Baldur's Gate, those type of things, right? It's the type of thing which I don't like playing. I am very honest. I know a lot of people like it, but that's also the art that people gravitate to when they buy their games, right? So that type of art style, Call of Duty, I don't know, Fortnite, whatever. That's what the typical Dutch gamer goes for. Minecraft, whatever. They don't go for this. Okay? Dutch people are boring as hell. Okay. So, with that in mind, I thought this is a game which they will, not soon, but will eventually discount. Not a lot, because these games just stay expensive, right? They will discount it. And yesterday, you know what it did? It went down. It went down to 44 euros. I was like, now that game is mine. And they only have one left in stock. So I was like, yep, now you're mine. Now you're at the price that I want you to be. So yes, I waited 3/4 of a year. So 3/4 of a year, this game was just sitting there on their shelf, and it was on my wish list, and it was there like, yeah, she wants us, but we are too expensive. And you know, sometimes, well, most of the times, it pays off, especially when you know your market and you know with the games that you like, if it is something which is in high demand or something that is in low demand. This is definitely something which is in low demand in my country, might be in high demand in other countries, but in my country, like I said, Dutch people, Dutch gamers, we're boring gamers. We don't go for happy, love is all you need type of gaming. No. We're boring. We're like, like those, like you see, if you ever seen Dutch social media content, the first thing you will think is these people are lifeless. They are lifeless. They have no color. Everything is beige. So yeah, that's why I also wear this pink wig, right? I'm going against the flow. I'm going for non-beige. I think I really have nothing beige in, not even in the rest of my house. There's nothing beige there. I hate that color. It's the color of, I don't want you in my life. I am bored. So yeah, I'm very happy that I got this one. So this was the final one. I'm thinking, was this the final one? Yes, this is the final one of the games pickup. So yeah, this is it's quite a wait. Let me grab the Layton one as well. It's quite a stack of games. A lot of international games. Not a lot of European games actually this time around. Most of the times I have a lot of European games. And before people start thinking, "Oh, you have so many games, you know. Are you a collector?" No, I'm kind of not a collector, and I am a collector. As in, I play my games. But it can be that it can take up to 5 years before I play that game. Again, right? I don't want to pay too much for my games, so I buy them at the cheapest time that you can buy them, and then that I don't have time to play it immediately. That's fine with me. I don't follow any type of trend or anything. I just don't follow trends. I follow nothing basically. So for me, I don't need to go with the hype that is out there currently. I'm also too old to join any hype, right? Because people are hyping stuff where I'm like, oh no, I don't like that now. I might like that in a couple of years, but I don't like it now. I've never liked Fortnite. I've never liked Call of Duty. You know what? If there is just too much darkness in there, if the tones of gray and beige are the overflowing color palettes in a game, it's not a game for me. Like pitch black, that's fine, right? With vibrant red. I love that. But everything in the color scheme of beige and gray, I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what? And brown, and but not the vibrant brown, right? Like the grainy type of brown. I don't know how to explain it, but anything in those color schemes in a game, it just immediately gives me this vibe, right? Like stay away from me, because you're sucking the life, you're sucking the color out of me, okay? Because even look at my, see, this is why I also like Nintendo games, because they're so bright red, they're so colorful that yeah, this is how pretty life should be. But again, Dutch people aren't like that. They are most definitely beige and gray, which basically means I have more choices to pick from. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I say miss you, love you, bye bye.